That was 2 minutes 18, sir. 2 minutes 18? That's
2 minutes 18.
That'd be a really long
2
time.
minute 18 delay.
Your head, you're infecting me. I was sane before this. Look what's happened.
Expect this episode to just be gargling from me because I'm still asleep.
I'm going to call it flunch.
I'm going to call it what?
Flunch. It's my new word I've just invented.
Flunch.
To describe that headspace that you're in. It's flunchy. He's in a flunchy headspace.
A flunchy headspace. You know what? I'm going to Google that just to make sure that does not have an existing
That's
meaning.
such a good point.
Right, let's have a look. Flunch. It's a food service.
There you go. Food lunch. I guess that makes sense. What about if you were to say, yesterday I was flunched. Oh no, there's an Urban Dictionary. To be extremely intoxicated of cheap wine or liqueur. Well, that's kind of right. We're just flunched off the wine of life.
Yeah, I like that. That's good.
His brain flunched.
Yeah.
Brain
I'm
flunched.
Flunched right now.
Okay.
Press enter to begin.
So, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to CPOD. Today, I am your host, Elliot, and I'm joined by my co-host, Dorian.
Good evening. How are we all?
I'm very well. How are you?
I'm right. This has become a theme because this week I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed.
Oh no! Who in? Is it me again?
Not with anyone in particular.
Oh, okay.
No, it's not you. I could never be mad at you.
Oh, I've just got PTSD. Everyone keeps saying it.
Oh, give me just 2 seconds, sorry, because my headphones have decided to disconnect from my laptop. That's not good.
It's okay.
I can't hear anything right now.
In the meantime, I'm going to keep the show going. So, Dorian has a few strange hobbies, one of which he loves to water, just basically it's like a 30 centimetre squared sort of section of his neighbour's gardens. It's very odd. He does it with clean water, and he's doing a service, but it's always random patches, and it seems like parts of their gardens just kind of grow unevenly. It's kind of a strange thing I think that he's got. The other thing is he likes to paint sheds.
I'm trying to make like a natural checkboard.
Oh, right, okay. Oh, he's listening.
I got all of it, by the way.
He also likes to paint sheds at night. Yeah, are you back with us?
I am back, yeah. I don't know why. Just my headphones all of a sudden said, connection lost. And I'm like, nope, that's not meant to happen.
Let's blame Microsoft.
Check the battery's good. There's 90%. I'm doing what?
Let's just blame Microsoft.
Yeah, it's Microsoft's fault. Or it could be both, one or the other. Just to go back to my point, yeah, I'm disappointed. And I will go on this rant when we get into our first topic of the day.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, with that then, Dorian, sir, what have you been playing?
I'm classifying this as my first topic of the day. Right, so I want to be angry, but I'm not angry, but I am disappointed. But I don't want to be disappointed, but it's frustrating. So for everyone that's been listening, you all know I mention it every week. Love me some Legacy of Kain. And I've been so happy with what's been coming out lately.
I thought it was Hello Kitty Island Adventure you were playing.
They did a crossover. That's my problem, because the crossover's just... I wanted Raziel to eat the Hello Kitty soul, but it turns out that the Hello Kitty's just dominated Nosgoth. And ruled us. No, it's not that. But it's essentially... Right, I'm going to put it this way. They've rammed Hello Kitty as a character into the Legacy of Kain franchise, and everyone's going, who is this? Why is she here? And why is she like the most powerful person in Nosgoth and seemingly ruining the entire timeline? And that's literally the truth. That's the truth, minus the Hello Kitty bit, but that is what's gone on. And so they've rammed this character into this 2D action game, which is set in very important set pieces throughout the Legacy of Kain history. But it messes with the timeline. But the timeline was so well written, and it's extremely intricate, and it's just beautifully crafted. And some fan somewhere said, "Oh, you've given me the job of writing some new Legacy of Kain stuff. Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to take all of your history. I'm going to throw my character in there, and it's going to be awesome." And all of us fans have been playing this new 2D game, Ascendance, and we've gone, what? Who? What? Who's this? Why is she here? Why have we never heard of her before? Why wasn't any other part of the entire of Nosgoth's history used? You're trying to retcon the entire history by making your own, and this new character has got the most simplest motivation ever to go on this killing rampage. Someone killed their lover. I'm like, really? Is that what all this is going on now? Like, they've got the Scion of Balance, the only character that has free will in the entire history of Nosgoth, and his choice is either to become the vampire champion or the Hilden champion. Therefore, determining which one wins out of these thousands of years war. And you're going, nah, we're going to ignore all that. We're going to ignore all the history. Tell you what we're going to do. We're going to throw this chick in here, and she's going to mess things up, and it's going to be awesome. And we're going, no, what have you done? What have you done? You've ruined everything, and you've ruined all the hard work that the previous writers put into this. All of it. So that's why I'm disappointed, because the newest game, Ascendance, I wanted to be so good, and I'm trying to enjoy it. And I played 2 hours yesterday, already got halfway through it. The fact that it's a 2D platformer is fine, it's great, it works as a 2D platformer, but all of the characters that I know and love so well are having interactions that you never thought that they'd have. And it just does not make sense. And I've waited 23 years for this, for something new to go, oh, yes, finally a new chapter. No, someone's just come in and ruined the already existing chapters. So
it sounds a bit like someone's trying to... I mean, of course, you took the words right out of my mouth. But it sounds just like someone's trying to capitalise on that franchise. Like they've got this new idea and they're trying to just sort of tag that on. And in a way, maybe they're trying to breathe a new lease of life. But by the sounds of it, they're doing quite the opposite. They're making people almost wish you'd left it be. If that's if that's kind of how it's coming across.
This is exactly it. And it's what's happened is that obviously there's loads and loads of companies now that are bringing back their old franchises. So we've had Resident Evil 2 and 3 remakes, but we're getting new Resident Evil games at the same time. We had Crash Bandicoot 1, 2 and 3 remakes, and then we got Crash Bandicoot 4. Great. Spyro the Reignited Trilogy. Great little set of games. There's remakes left, right and centre. Crystal Dynamics don't really have much going for them at the moment, so they said, well, we could bring back Legacy of Kain maybe, but the original writers and Amy Hennig, the original director, long gone. Off on their own projects now. So a fan base built Soul Reaver Remastered, and it was great. Didn't touch the originals, it just updated it a bit. And then they kept that ball rolling with Defiance, and we went, oh, okay, but you've fixed a few things. I like this. But before Defiance came along, roughly about the same time as Soul Reaver 1 and 2 Remastered, Bitbot Media got involved and said, right, okay, so we've heard you guys, you want more Legacy of Kain. So we're going to bring out masks, snowboards, comic books, all of this merchandise that you guys can buy. It's all on Kickstarter, and loads of people backed it, but then nothing kind of came of it really until the comic book eventually emerged digitally and did exactly that. Started messing with the timeline and the characters and the history, and it was not very well received. And they should have left it there. But what Ascendance is it's an adaptation of the comic book that no one liked. But Crystal Dynamics said, well, we've got a story here that we can pop into a game. Yeah, go on then, why not? They were paying attention when we all said we would love more Legacy of Kain, and they went, right, got it. And now that we've got a little bit more of the old Legacy of Kain, we've gone, great, we'd love to see this new lease on the original games. Can we see something new? And they've gone, yeah, here's something new, that comic book. And we've gone, no, not the comic book, please, just no. But they've done it. And now we're stuck.
Okay, so hypothetically speaking then, say they listened to this podcast and they went, Dorian, you are our man. Okay, we made those mistakes in Ascension. We're going to make a new game. It's going to be a 3D action adventure, just like the originals. What would you pitch to them?
Dead Sun. Because it's already been done. They originally started a new project for the PlayStation 4 called Dead Sun, which was set in the world of Legacy of Kain, but did not contain Kain or Raziel. It was his own separate story set thousands of years into the future, where Kain and Raziel and that whole battle has dissolved into legend. People talk about it in stories, but this is its own thing now. And there was motion capture, there was voice acting, there was a level up system, there was loads developed for it, and even a multiplayer. And Crystal Dynamics pulled the plug right in the middle of it. But they kept the multiplayer, and they said, all right, so we're going to ignore the main story, scrap that. No one wants that. Yes, we do. Instead, we're going to carry on development with this multiplayer, but we're going to get you guys to help us out. So we're going to release a paid alpha, and it's going to be called Nosgoth, and it's vampires versus humans, and there's different classes, and you've kind of got to adapt to the way that you play each class according to the enemies that you come up against. But everyone gets a turn with each race, the vampires and the humans. And I paid for it, and I played it, and I thought, it's good. It looked great. It was running on Unreal 4, and it was a bit unbalanced. That was the biggest problem with it. It was very unbalanced because the vampires were heavily overpowered. But it was still fun. And then well into that development, in about 2014, 2015, they pulled the plug on that. But all of that content is still there. All of those ideas are still there. They had backstories for all the races, all the classes, all of the clans. And it was brilliant. I loved going onto the website and reading all of that, going, oh, that's what happened to the Raziel Imp. That's so cool. But they've not touched any of it. And I'm just pulling my hair out going, why? Why didn't you use any of what you had? It was brilliant.
Apparently,
why did you pull the plug, and why have you now given us this?
It was actually Square Enix was the publisher. Unreal Engine 3.
Yes, it was, sorry.
But it looks...
Oh, it was 3. Wow.
Yeah, but it actually looks really good. I would have loved to have played this with you.
It was great. It was so good. And there were pages upon pages of lore on the website. And I kept reading through it, so excited for the release of this thing. And it just never happened.
I'm trying to see...
I was gutted. I'm gutted.
Yeah, I'm just looking at some of the reviews of it now. Yeah, funnily enough, there's loads of positives. The only thing they said, it was very unbalanced. But then you want the humans... Sorry, you want the vampires to be more powerful than the humans. Surely. Surely that's the way it was.
Well, that was it. All of the vampires were more physically capable, which meant the humans were much more ranged. So the humans had to keep their distance and can attack from afar. As a vampire, you had to get up close and personal. But if you're one vampire against a bunch of 4 humans, you were in trouble. So there's that element of teamwork in order to take your objective. But you know what people are like online? They're like one-man armies going, oh, go on, it's all me. And then all of a sudden, the rest of the teams, they're done for. So... yeah, it could have been so much better. It could have been something beautiful. But now that Ascendance has got the reviews that it has, and there are some people that like it, there's part of me that wants to like it, there's part of me that's just grateful that we've got a new game. But there's still that sense of disappointment where I've gone, oh, this is what you've done. Okay, all right. I bought it, I'm playing it, I'll probably carry on playing it. Maybe there's going to be scenes in that I enjoy. Again, it's a decent 2D platformer. It's all right. It's good. It's fun. Well, I say it's fun. It's frustrating, but it's challenging. And I don't mind that aspect. It's just, it's like Godfather scene. What have you done to my boy?
But that's it, isn't it? And the unfortunate world is that if it doesn't sell very well, because true fans like yourself go, hang on, this isn't what we remember. And the corporate people go, oh, well, it didn't really meet the sales figures. It's whether they'll invest in another project. But it might not be that there's not the interest in the series. It's that the game itself hasn't delivered. But they probably won't be able to distinguish between the two. So that's kind of gutting. I really hope that's not the way it goes. I hope that more people do play that platformer and do praise it and do buy the remaster to kind of show them, look, we've still got a franchise here. There's still more that we can do with it. So I have everything crossed for you. I really do. I'm actually going to. It's on my list this year. I'm going to buy one of the of Kane games on Switch and complete it because I've got to. I feel like I owe it to you as a friend. I have to play it.
Absolutely, you should do it. I'm going to finish off my rant there. There's actually something I've been meaning to mention for weeks, and I keep forgetting. And it's something that I've not been playing, but I've been listening to, and I keep going back to it because it's great. There's an artist, an online like drum and bass artist, jungle artist called Pizza Hotline. Have you heard of it?
I have not.
So what this guy does is he creates like these 90s jungle and drum and bass tracks based off the audio aesthetic of things that were out in the 90s and early 2000s when we were kids. So he's got an album completely dedicated to the sound of the PS1.
Okay,
and
that's
it's
quite cool.
great. It doesn't necessarily take direct sound bites from the PS1, but it's like when you switch your PS1 on, you're playing Ridge Racer 4, and it's like that background music. But it's 10 tracks of that, and you go, oh, this is cool. I like this. You can just kind of melt into it. It's really, really good. But he's also done albums dedicated to the sound of Windows XP, for example.
I like that, yeah.
It's pretty cool. It's really, really cool. So if you can find him, he is on Spotify. Go check out Pizza Hotline. If you're running, if you're working, anything like that, it's not like a sit down and listen attentively. It's put it on in the background and see what you think, because it's really, really good vibes. I'm really enjoying it. Right, I've had nearly 20 minutes to myself. I'm going to let you talk. I'm very sorry about that.
No worries at all. No, I've literally just gone in and started following him. Yeah, thank you for that. I'll have a listen. But no, absolutely. The whole point of our YouTube channel, of this podcast, of everything that we decided to do together as Curse of the Enthusiast is talk about the things that we're enthusiastic about. It's that curse that you can't shake. So please never apologise. I love hearing you when you know, it's like me with Xenoblade. Do you know what I mean? As soon as you're into something, I want to hear it, honestly. I'm all ears, any time of day or night, talking about that. So yeah, no, keep me in the loop. I want to know your thoughts as you play through the game, and then sort of a final wrap up once you completed it. And hopefully it changes from your current opinion. But, you know, fingers crossed.
I'm hoping so too. I'm hoping so. That is the curse. Yeah. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose.
Exactly. Well, if you don't mind, can I talk about what I've been playing?
Absolutely. Yeah, of course you can. Go for it. I feel like I owe that to you at least.
No, not at all. So I've had... it's a really difficult one for me to explain. So... oh god, I don't even know where to start. Okay, so I purchased the Final Fantasy VII remake. Obviously, it's like part one of the original game, isn't it? The first one. Nate the Great has been talking to me about this. We were talking to each other pretty much daily about it, checking where I'm up to, and you know, it is absolutely 100% just pure phenomenal. It just, I'm so hooked. I absolutely love it. It's brilliant. But it's really odd to me as well, because it's quite apparent that Xenoblade would have been inspired by Final Fantasy. Obviously, it's like the first main JRPG, and there's a lot of things that are almost very similar. So I can tell like they've, you know, been inspired by Final Fantasy series.
Yeah.
So it's odd. It's kind of like I'm playing this game that I kind of half recognise, but it's like, especially the remake, it's obviously got more fans, it's had more exposure, so there's more people on it, it's had more work, it's had more development. So I can't describe it. It's such an odd emotion. It's kind of like, I appreciate it. I tell you what it's like. You know when you're at school and you've got someone, you've met someone who you quite like, not just as a friend, and then you end up meeting their dad, and their dad is like just a version of them but older, and like, you know, they've got a car, they can do what they want. It's kind of like that. It's like, yeah, Xenoblade is bloody amazing. It'll always be my like favourite game series.
I think I know what you mean. It's a bit like Uncanny Valley. There's something under the surface that you recognise. You can't quite pinpoint it, but you know it's there.
Yeah, it would be like going through your family history. It'd be like going through my family history and finding out that my great-great-grandfather was actually in IT. Oh my god! You know, it's like there's something about it where it's like it feels like I already know this. It feels like I already understand this concept, but it's like had more eyes on it. It's literally like it is more popular. You know what I mean? And it's kind of so. I played the demo of it during COVID, I think, when it came out on PlayStation for the first time, and wasn't that hooked. Obviously, I hadn't found Xenoblade then. I hadn't really introduced myself to that JRPG. So, yeah, it is just, that's pretty much all I've been playing, that and Pocopia. And then just whilst I was waiting for us to fire at the podcast, I actually just tried Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. So I was playing it online on Steam. Filled full of hackers. Filled, as soon as you spawn, you just get headshotted from across the map. But then
But wait, is that Modern Warfare 2 or is that Modern Warfare 2?
Modern...
Because there's that many Modern Warfares now.
COD 6, if you will.
Oh, okay, right. So the original Modern Warfare 2.
The original Modern Warfare 2, yeah. Which
Gotcha.
for some reason I have 10th Prestige on. And I'll also tell you some of the name of my loadouts after the podcast because they're not very PC. But my humour, I still found it funny, which is pretty terrible. Like, you know, more than like 13 years on. But I tell you what I did install. I installed Day of Defeat Source just quickly, you know, for something to play for 15 minutes just before you logged on.
Okay.
It's still great.
Yeah.
It's still a great game. It's still fantastic. So, yeah, I love that. So, just the end of my What I've Been Playing segment. What I would like to do is a quick shout out to Mr. Jack Parrott. Talking to him, and yeah, he's got his own gaming journal going. And he completed a game this week. He completed Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. So yeah, well done. I love that game. Man, I love that game. I think Tears of the Kingdom... I do prefer Tears of the Kingdom, but Breath of the Wild is fantastic. Yeah. So, yeah, well done for completing that, and I'd love to hear there's another gaming journal out there. I think that's, you know, that's the way this year's going for a lot of us, and it's exciting.
Maybe we've started a trend. Maybe this will be what gets big in 2026.
Curse of the Journal. It'll be JPOD.
Curse of the Journal. JPOD. That sounds like K-pop. I don't know. It sounds like a bad. Yeah, it does. It sounds like a knockoff.
Team UK pop. It's just us in Yorkshire and Nottinghamshire.
Yeah, precisely. But speaking of first-person shooters, I do believe that leads us into our topic for this week, which is kind of two rolled into one, because I wanted to talk a little bit about simulators versus arcade. Now, when I say arcade, I don't mean, you know, going directly to an arcade and playing on the machine. I mean more arcade feel type games, because arcade games are not serious. You just run and gun or sit down and drive and just have a blast, basically. Whereas the simulators are, of course, much more focused on trying to be as realistic as possible. So we're going to talk a little bit about racing simulators versus racing arcades, and then first-person shooter simulators versus first-person arcades.
How long have you got? Come on.
If that makes sense.
How long have you got?
Oh, God. Well, if we want to keep it at 45 minutes, just 20 and a bit.
Okay,
so
I will do my best.
Let's keep it short and snappy. Well, first of all, you're a sucker for a good simulator game. You played Assetto Corsa for a long time. You even competed for a while.
I think we're about 600 hours in to Assetto Corsa Competizione and about 300 odd into Assetto Corsa. So yeah, it's Project Cars 1, Project Cars 2, Richard Burns Rally, well, it wouldn't be Colin McRae, I think it was just Dirt 2, I think, at that point. So I love racing sim games, and I've recently got back into Assetto Corsa Competizione playing with our good friend Toby. It's actually the reason why I've got a desk upgrade, because I want to be able to sort of mount the sim wheel on one side of an L-shaped desk, and whilst I've got a work setup still there, it's kind of the main reason why I've started to do that. Racing sims are phenomenal. They have the place. The only thing that I'd say is, after a while, it's a bit like, you know, if you can take something a bit too seriously so that it loses its fun value. Yeah. It's a really delicate balance between the sim side. Like, it's so realistic, it's really good fun. You'll get humbled very, very quickly. You'll find that, you know, you might be doing your best lap, you think's amazing, as will your mate. Someone else will join, and oh my god, it's like the hacking. You know, they've just knocked 2 seconds off, yet you've spent a week, you know, training, trying to get the best time. So
yeah,
they are brilliant simulators, but it doesn't always necessarily equate to fun, would be what I would say. Because I could go from playing that to playing Mario Kart, which I'm, you know, Oh my god, I love Mario Kart so much, and soon we'll be able to play it. By the way, just putting that in there.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's difficult for me. I think that just on the racing sim to arcade racer topic, it would be the arcade racer as you're in. That's if you like racing games, that's the best place to start. The racing sim is kind of a slight end product, but you might find yourself drifting back between the two because it depends what your end goal is. So if you're wanting to practice something, say for a track day, or to get into something really competitively and serious, and you want to build a sim rig and go down that route, of course it's racing sim. But the accessibility and the fun, I find myself bouncing between the two quite regularly. Except for the likes, I will say, of Gran Turismo. I think it's a really unpopular opinion, right, in the sim racing world. When I used to have the YouTube channel, I had a Discord with something like 200-300 people in, something like that. It was very popular. It ended up feeling a bit like a part-time job. When I said I enjoyed Gran Turismo 7 or Forza Motorsport or Project Cars, I got people say to me, "Oh yeah, but they're not like racing sims. They're not racing sims." And it's like, well,
yeah.
Yeah, but I enjoy it. It's fun. Like especially in the Gran Turismo, we can go and buy a 2001 Honda Jazz and engine swap it and race in some sort of Japanese cup. It's brilliant. That's great fun. Or do I want to spend 6 hours, training for a track for someone to hit me on the first turn, T1, and it'll all be over? So that's my kind of, that's my part of it. I think actually a little bit of both is good. And you'll probably find that you bounce between the two until you settle on one that you like. What I will say is for the arcade racer, by the way, Ridge Racer is on the N64 of games if you pay for the expansion pass and Nintendo Online membership. With a lot of the Nintendo Switch Online stuff, and I don't think you're aware of this yet, you can play with your friend online as 2-player, as if you're connected local co-op. So same for SNES as well.
Oh, no way.
Oh,
that's incredible.
So that opens it up in terms of games.
That's really, yeah. I had no idea that they could do that. So that's brilliant. That means we've got a whole library of retro games that we could just snap on and play. That's great.
Literally, we're at an arcade club playing together. I could just play two as join the game, and boom, I'm in. So yeah. But how about you, racing sim? Because obviously I managed to lure you into buying a wheel once. I felt a little bit bad for it. But I think you did enjoy it for a while, but obviously there's time commitment. It gets really serious. Where's your sort of position and thoughts on the racing sim?
Yeah, so I agree. Yeah, I did enjoy the racing wheel for a little bit, but then, as you say, it did start to feel a little bit like a job because with the racing sim, there's so much that you've got to learn. And I just could not dedicate the time to it because when I sat down, it wasn't fun anymore. It didn't feel like a game. It felt like something I had to do. And I was like, all right, I'll sit down, I'll do this and try and learn how to do that, etc. And it was good, but it took a lot of dedication to do. And I think that is for the dedicated, the enthusiast. Whereas for me, if I'm playing a game, then my aim is to sit down and be entertained. It's not to grind through something, which is why I don't do very well with grind along games because they get boring quickly, and I'm there for a spectacle, not to. Here we go again. That's another 2 hours of this. So, but I can swap that argument a little bit because I've been trying to trophy hunt some of the games that I've completed, and one of them is Crash Team Racing, very similar to Mario Kart, in which it was just a little fun little kart racer with no realistic physics, and you've got all kinds of different races and different battles that you can do. But there's a time trial mode, and the time trial mode is if you beat the time trial, then you'll beat Entropy. Great, but then there's another person that unlocks after that. Who else you've got to beat, and you've got to find every little corner that you can take advantage of, every jump, every turn, every drift, and if you don't get them bang on, you will never get that time. And I end up 15 seconds out, and I think to myself, where do I find those 15 seconds? And I just cannot do it. And that's where it gets into, right, you're going to have to grind if you want to get that good. But this is on that arcade feel game. And at that point, I go, nah, I'm putting that down. I haven't got the time to dedicate to just get good because I'm here to have fun. So
I did it on that game and I regretted it. you,
You regretted it. Why is that?
I had to. It was literally like revision. I'd go onto YouTube and start watching people run, like drive through these levels and find all the like. All right, okay, so you got to drift at that point, do a jump off that, hit that, bang off that wall, so then you jump and you actually clear that part of the track. Honestly, it was. I got halfway through and I was the same. I was like, I don't know if I'm having fun. I'm just doing this because I feel like I have to. Yeah.
This is it. Yeah, it is for those that are dedicated to that craft of trophy hunting. So it's not just like simulators. It is some arcade games as well. And I wish Gran Turismo was that kind of game where I could pick it up and have fun. There's a little aspect of the simulator world where I do want to kind of pick it up and get good and achieve something, but I keep modifying my cars to be faster than the rest, at which point I'm going, am I cheating? It feels like I'm cheating. I'm not actually good at driving. I'm just upgrading my car by grinding until I've got enough credits to upgrade it. Then I get back to grinding. I'm going, oh, I've spent an hour trying to do this. I'm just going to put it down. So I've got a bit of a love-hate relationship with Gran Turismo. Need for Speed, great games. Like the Need for Speed games. Burnout, I don't know why I could never get along with it. It looks like fun. It looks like I should have fun. But no, and Ridge Racer, I've got Ridge Racer Type 4 for the PS1. It feels unfair, like there's a huge difficulty curve, because the first couple of races are easy as, and then after that, I just cannot keep up. And I don't understand why. Which is why I like Wipeout so much, because Wipeout is something else. It's not trying to be realistic in any kind of way. It's futuristic. It knows that it's a spectacle. The ships sometimes feel a bit floaty, sometimes they feel more grounded. They've got weapons on them, so you've got that Mario Kart Crash Team Racing like feel to it. There's the sense of battle as well as the race. And I've played that for donkey's years, and that's why I'm much better at those games than I am a genuine racer, because I've dedicated the time to it. But I've dedicated the time because they're fun. They are good fun. So that's my stance on racing games anyway. Yeah, a little bit, exactly. Because I'm engaged more. I want to spend more time in it, as you say. Yeah.
I see what you mean. I see exactly what you mean. And it's some of the arcade games as well. I mean, Gran Turismo and the Forza Motorsport, I'd say they're enough sim with some fun still involved. Like I'd say that's kind of like a good sweet spot. But then the Need for Speed is. That's a frustration I have sometimes, is like you can have a really good arcade racer and you get to a point where you get so good at it or so far through it that it almost you almost get invested to like a racing sim effort, and it's like, wait, that's not right. It's so close, but it's not, and it kind of messes with my head because I don't know what headspace to be in. Is it an arcade racer or is it a sim? Because they end up getting kind of touching on both. Whereas, as you say, Wipeout, or for me like Mario Kart, it's so different from that you can't really compare it, because it's not the same as a go-karting, is it? Because you're throwing a blue shell through the air, and that's kind of it's. But I mean, just to if you don't mind, can I move us on to what should be topic 2, but is now topic 3?
Of course, yeah, absolutely, yeah. Go for it.
So realistic shooters versus fun shooters. Now I'm going to let you talk about Call of Duty, Fortnite, and Battlefield. The only reason I've jumped in on this is because I want to talk about a game called Escape from Tarkov, which is
I remember you spent a lot of hours on that. Yeah.
Yeah, one of our friends, he's I think he's like 3,000 hours into this damn game, and it is a good game, but it's so realistic to the point where like you've got to know the certain ammunition that fits in a certain magazine, and well, if you load the wrong one and it does still actually fit into the magazine, you load it into the weapon, that you're going to have a jam, and it's kind of like, oh god. Then you could spend 15 minutes prepping all of your gear. You go into one of the servers of one of the worlds, and someone, because they know it, because they've played loads more than you, they sat on a rock, they get you, it's over, you've lost everything, and away you go again. Whereas some of the others, it's kind of more about that fun. And I think as you touched on, it's about what you're wanting to get out of the game. So if you're wanting to sit down and have a bit of fun, or something you can really get into but is still fun, that's kind of mine and your, I would say, peak. I went from playing all these uber realistic and hyper competitive to playing Nintendo again, and I found, oh my god, this is what I actually prefer. Have I been playing these games because it's what other people are playing? It's kind of what I'm told to play. And Nintendo, well, that's for kids. It's, you know, there's nothing on there. You go back to it, and it's not just for kids. There's a plethora of different games with huge storylines and background, but there is that ability to jump in, have some fun, but, you know, you've still got work tomorrow, so it's, you know. So that's where I would go. Where are you thinking on your realistic shooters versus fun shooters? What examples have you got?
So I think the most realistic kind of shooter that I've played. Oh, we played Heroes and Generals for a little bit, didn't we? Which was a free-to-play game for a while, and that was kind of good fun. That was like a World War II style game, which wasn't horribly realistic.
Mate,
oh no, what? It wasn't Heroes and Generals. What was that one?
No, Heroes and Generals was the World War II one, which I remember.
Yeah.
I was trying to play really stealthy, as if we were like at airsoft. You know, I was there, sort of proning through the field, sort of trying to get a good angle on the enemy. And next minute, I see you on a push bike cycling through the field, and all I heard was "Hail Silver, away!" as you just got shot off the bike. So I just witnessed my best friend get mowed down in a field whilst riding at the equivalent of a penny farthing. You know. So.
Can you imagine having to write that letter to my widow?
Nadia.
Oh dear.
Dorian suffered a fate of any man, of a brave man. Not necessarily a wise man, but his balance was quite impressive.
Oh dear. Even after he'd been blown to smithereens, he kept going. That bike just wouldn't stop. It was a steady downhill. And he had stabilizers. So I don't think it was Heroes and Generals. There was like a realistic shooter where we had no heads-up display or anything. You had to count the amount of ammunition that you were using and set up your loadout before, because that was it. You couldn't pick up any of the weapons or anything else for the rest of the game. What was
Insurgency?
that one called? Yes, it was. That was it.
Nice.
And I do remember having a lot of fun with that, but that was a case of like, if you got killed, that was your game done. And there were those people that again spent the hours learning the layouts, learning how to move the characters, learning their loadouts, memorizing keyboard shortcuts and whatnot. And as a newcomer, that was very intimidating and very frustrating to play. Great idea, but again, it's one of those that you've got to dedicate the time to do it. And then you've got your your console shooters like your Modern Warfare, like your Medal of Honor and stuff like that, which are great. You get the opportunity to sort of heal and then go back into the battle, and they try to look very photorealistic, and they're using all this modern tech and whatnot, and it's very, very cool. Sometimes with some controversies tied against them, of course, you've got the No Russian mission, which had a lot of feedback, both good and bad, but they're all right to play if you'd like a serious story and if you'd like something that feels serious. But then you've got the games that, again, you just want to have a bit of fun, blasting away at your mates. And for that, you've got your Unreal, you've got your Quake Tournament, you've got Time Splitters 2. I am a sucker for Doom. I love Doom. Because Doom it looks serious and it looks big and bad and gruff, but Doom just says, right, here's a gun and a room full of demons, have fun. Off you go. And you're like, oh, all right, great. And that's it. That's the game. Fantastic. Love that, because it doesn't take itself too seriously. It is just a bit of fun. That's all it is. So I've got a similar kind of stance in that simulators are great for the people that want to dedicate the time to it and want to make it their hobby. For me personally, when it does come to a first-person shooter, I don't mind a serious first-person shooter. But when I sit down to play a game, I'm there for the fun of it, not to go, right, here we go. Let's crack on with this then, shall we? Which is part of the reason why I end up putting some games down about halfway through. Because I go, you know what, this probably just isn't for me, because I don't feel like I'm having fun, and I don't want to have to grind away at it just to say I've completed it. So it's, I think all games are like that. All games are a bit of a double-edged sword, depending on how seriously they do take themselves. Yeah.
I was nodding away then. You couldn't see it, but I was nodding my head completely. Because that's it. I mean, you've got obviously the very good reason, because you're doing that RPG called Being a Father. It's quite a long investment. There's a lot of DLC. You're going to be on paywalls. I don't have any necessary reason that, like, to say, oh, I don't want to invest that time other than work. It's literally just an awareness of how much time that's consuming. And again, it's got to be fun. And if it's not fun, I'm going to stop playing it. So if I'm playing Elden Ring and I'm just going to get, smashed into a wall 500 times and, hey, it's all about it. Hey, you died. Yeah, have another go. I'm all right. You play it. That's fine. But I want a bit of escapism. I want sort of to be wowed and to have that, I'm not about that, And that's what I quite like about the RPGs, especially the JRPGs. It's like, okay, I'm going to go and see if I can fight that thing. Oh, okay, no, I'm really underleveled. But here's a whole, sequence of different events, quests, missions, different, game mechanics that you can go and do to level up and then return. So you still get that satisfaction of completing something that's very difficult, but because you've gone out and earned it. And that's what happens in the real world. If there's a huge problem in your life, you don't just keep trying the same thing. It's literally the definition of stupidity. Whereas you'll go on you'll go on train, you'll revise, you'll do whatever you need to do, and I think that's kind of what appeals to me. So yeah, weirdly, I have respect for both racing sims and realistic sort of shooters, and I will go and play them now and again and get into them. But generally in my life, the way I am now is I like the arcade races, and even Mario Kart, I take it a bit, I get very I'm trying to think what's the correct term. I think my wife would describe it as perspirated. I think that's the correct word. At Mario Kart. I love kart races, and I definitely take them from being an arcade racer to, oh my god, what's the meta? What's the fastest bit? I like the fact that the Mario Kart world on Switch 2 is massive for this as well, I will say. So it's very hard to become really good at Mario Kart World. It seems to be so sort of balanced for families that it doesn't matter if you're a complete sweat at kart races. It just really, really quickly sort of humbles you, and you're then at the back with everyone else. And it's not like you just climb back to first. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe on Switch, it was Switch 1, is a bit more like that. You can, once you've learned certain levels, certain strategies, certain metas, you can deploy the same sort of mechanics to get ahead of the pack. Mario Kart World, I've not yet found any way to be at the front all the time. You'll just constantly, you can play with anyone and you'll be all across the grid. And again, that's more fun for everyone. I've got, real casual gamers, friends that I play with, and it's fun for all of us. It's not like when you were playing the sim racing stuff, and it's like, well, yeah, I've got 300 hours on you, over you on this. So of course you're not just going to pick it up like that, and that's not fun. And that's what I found by playing games with people who've got 2,000 hours into a game. Yeah, I enjoy playing the game, but it's not fun if you're just piggybacking off someone else. And that's where I think the arcade racer or the arcade shooter kind of just humbles everyone because it's designed for fun.
Yeah, exactly. Precisely. There was, I know it's not by any means a simulator or racing or shooting game, but games like Bloodborne, where you do have to get good and grind away. Bloodborne, Dark Souls, Demon Souls, games like that, they feel like you're punished just for turning the game on. And you're like, nope, don't want to play that anymore. I'll just put it down. I'm sorry, I'm not worthy, and just put it back and never let it see the light of day again. Sometimes it can feel a little bit like that if you start playing a simulator and you're not already good and you've not poured the hours in. It goes, right, how much damage can we do to this poor boy? And you go, please, just be gentle.
Exactly. Yeah. But then the thing is, we've only got so many hours to play games, right? It's meant to be a fun, enjoyable hobby. And there's so many games that we can go and play and have a great time in and come out relaxed. Versus, I know someone who he used to work with who literally broke a bone in his hand and into his wrist from smacking his hand on the sofa from playing Elden Ring. That's not fun.
Ooh.
That's not fun.
No.
I'm not going to play a game that gets me that angry. It's not a case of getting good. We have to... There's many things in our adult lives, even though we sound like man-children 99% of the time, which requires patience, which requires repetition. I don't want to do that in my leisure time. I want something that's fun.
Yeah.
And you know what? No shame. If you people change a difficulty onto easy, but you enjoy it, good on you. Because it's about enjoying it. I don't get this sort of measuring contest. I took a word out there. I completed it on this difficulty.
Yeah.
And in a way, whilst I miss the sort of trophy achievement system on a Nintendo console, that's kind of what I like. It doesn't exist. There's no measuring yourself against anyone else. You can't see it. Just go and play the thing. Just go and enjoy the thing and play what you want to play.
That's fair. There was something quite satisfying about getting trophies when you're playing through a game, because it feels like something to work for. But at the same time, there's something taken away by a trophy system, because it's not about the winning. It's about there's a story here. Did you notice? Are you playing it? Are you enjoying it? Are you taking it in? And yeah, I think that's something that I could probably learn a little bit from by playing more Nintendo. So yeah, that's interesting. I never thought about that way.
It's going to, in some ways, it will attract you. When you go back to playing some of the Sony stuff again, you'll be like, oh God, no, I do love this. Which I have the same with when I go back and I'll play something on the PC or the Xbox and go, oh no, this is great. And I might have, as you've pointed out before, because it's very apparent, I'll have 2 weeks where, good God, I'm obsessed with Xbox. I'll play nothing but Xbox for the 2 weeks, But then I fall back to Nintendo every single time because they just have it right. And I think whether you're a Nintendo fan or not, I would always implore everyone to kind of have a go. Remove any premise of what you think it's about or what the games are who the games are aimed at, and just play it because it might surprise you. And also, I'd go as far as to say some of the games that you might necessarily think are your kind of genre, like Persona games, or Xenoblade was never my type of game. Never. I wouldn't have put myself playing that at all. But now it's phenomenal. You were talking earlier, by the way, just changing topics as we move towards the outro. You were talking about organising your TV unit because, of course, you've got a couple of new consoles coming.
Well, yeah, at the moment my TV unit looks like a big TV on top, denim with some bookshelf speakers. Not denim. Sorry, I had to throw in a Mario joke there.
That was brilliant. I thought you just meant
CD player.
jeans. I thought you just meant like you've got like a denim TV unit, which is just that's awful. Where's the
Dorian,
zip?
What's your sound system? Levi's. No, it's a denim CD player. It's about. Can we put that on there? Are we gonna get? Yeah, we'll be fine. So
I think
I've got a very small CD player as my sound system. Bookshelf speakers, and then PlayStation 3 on one side, PS5 on the other, sort of in set shelves, and that's that. Now we've got a Wii coming in the next couple of weeks, I believe, which is great. That's being passed down from a friend of ours that doesn't use it anymore. He said, "Do you want it?" And Nadia would love it because she likes the Move games and stuff, and it's something for all of us to play. But of course, you have very, very generously donated your OLED Switch. Because of many reasons, like you said, you want us all to be able to enjoy something as a family, but as yourself and Nate the Great has been saying, I need something portable so that when the TV's taken up, I've got my own little dedicated thing so I can kind of keep an eye on the boy and do my thing at the same time. It's going to be great, but the question is, where do I put it? Because if it sits in front of the TV, if the dock sits in front of the TV, I'm the kind of guy where it's like, I can't see those 5 centimeters of screen in the bottom left corner, and it's doing my nut.
No, I'm the same as
because
you.
I could be missing anything. I don't know what's there. I think the Wii might sit just nicely under the TV because you can have it horizontally. So that will sit under there. Fine, that's not going to intrude on anything. But the ergonomic problem I have now is, where do I put the dock for the Switch? I love how much it annoyed you when I sent you that Etsy listing for that 3D printed PlayStation case for the Nintendo Switch dock. I was like, hey mate, this is what I'm going to do. Just to slap you in the face, and it made you so mad.
I will buy your son a quad bike on Saturday.
You'll do what?
I'll buy him a quad bike. You said you had no room. I'll buy him a quad bike.
Oh.
if you buy that, I'll just start buying him the largest objects I can possibly think of. I've bought him a pyramid. Just...
I wouldn't put that past you, to be quite honest. Every time we come to visit, the gifts are just going to get bigger and bigger. I'm just going to go, please stop this, and you're going to go, never.
That's exactly. That's what's going to happen. You've nailed it. I mean, as it is, obviously, I feel quite bad, to be honest, because you've got the Switch, giving you the Ibanez electric guitar. So I do feel pretty bad. So I feel like I'm stacking your car up. However, of course, we do have, it's the perfect, so my guitar I had for the Wii Guitar Hero was faulty. I bought it on eBay as a faulty unit, and I'd fixed it a few times, but it was always a little bit dodgy. There were some exposed wires inside, but Lauren's, which is the mini sort of Les Paul, works perfectly. So we've got that ready for Nadia, and I've got about 3 or 4 Guitar Hero Wii games to give you as well. So 3 World Tour, it's like a Greatest Hits one, I think, as well. So yeah, there's all sorts coming your way.
That's incredible. Thank you.
Did you know the trick about
I'm kind of thinking, what did I do to deserve all this?
Just being you. What was the music video you made? I'm trying to remember the lyrics. I'll have to give it a watch after. Did you know the trick about the infrared bar, the sensor bar, should I say?
The infrared bar? No.
So on the Nintendo Wii, I think the infrared is actually built into the Wiimote itself. So what you can do is, rather than using the sensor bar, you can actually put 2 candles, basically sort of in front, not close to your TV, but in front of your TV, and it'll make the Wiimote work. It'll work.
Oh wow, that's incredible! I might try that.
Just
Actually, I don't know.
Burn the TV.
Yeah, I was just thinking to myself then for a second. Hang on, common sense has not yet kicked in. Give it a second.
Google it. Yeah, Google it first.
Yeah,
We'll have a look. But yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's a very interesting concept. Yeah, I would like to see whether or not that works, but maybe not at the expense of my own television.
Do you know
we'll see.
What version of the Wii you're getting, by the way? Does it support GameCube controllers?
I would imagine so if it's the basic white one. But I'm not 100%.
Well, if it does, with the flap that opens, I actually have an original GameCube controller I could give you as well, because I've got the Nintendo Switch Online GameCube controller. So yeah.
Stop giving me things for free. I'm starting to feel very bad about all of this.
Do you want a multi-tap? I've got one of them going as well. Honestly, I've got no. I mean, I've actually got a multi-tap for the PS2.
I am good. I'm fine for...
Where does he draw the line? He can't
You can write off the next couple of Christmases. Yeah. I'll take your house while you're at it. Why not? Go on.
That's the only thing. That's where I have to draw the line. I've invested too much blood, sweat, and tears.
Does that mean the Vitara's up for grabs?
Yes, but I'm keeping 3 out of the 4 wheels. So if you can get it home.
That's fair.
Yeah, just
speaking of wheels, you have a little bit of news for next week.
Yes, the wheels are turning. I see what you did there. That was smooth. Unfortunately, I will be vacant from next week's CPOD. I know. Shh. I can hear the cries now. I'm going to be in the Brecon Beacons, on my adventures, searching for mysteries and dragons, you name it. I'm going to be in Wales next week. So, big apologies. I have to excuse myself from next week's episode. I leave...
He's taking the hobbits to Isengard.
I'm taking the hobbits to the Brecon Beacons. It doesn't quite have the same ring to it, but hang on, does that mean I'm taking my wife to... That's a bit insulting. Lauren, I did not mean that before. I'm sleeping in the garage. But yes, I leave you all in Dorian's very capable hands. So, bit of surprise, I think, isn't it, as to what's going to happen next week. But I look forward to listening. It's one I can listen back to and not hear my own voice. So I'm happy. I'd be happy with that.
Yeah, next week we will mix things up. I will come up with something. It will be fun either way, and we will be here next week, same as always. Apart from Elliot, of course. So I will be here. Who will be here with me? We don't know. We shall see. Depends on everyone's schedules, I guess. But I'll work something out. It'll be good. It'll be fun. I'll surprise you next week. In fact, I have a small challenge, right? What would you like to hear me and my mystery guest talk about next week? So if you set it, we've got to try and work our way around it.
The first thing I wanted to do was a for and against Nintendo was the first thing that came to my mind, but we've literally spoken to that for the last 17 episodes straight.
Yeah.
Okay. You and whoever is on the podcast, if you do find somebody else, it's a surprise, of course. I would like your top 4 games. I don't know why 4. It's a kind of a very odd number.
That's fair. It's random. It's straight off the bat.
Your top 4 games and reasons why. Essentially, this is going to be you stood on the soapbox selling those 4 games. If you do well enough, I'll play one of them. I think Legacy of Kain, of course, is already in there. But which Legacy of Kain? I want specific games, not just a genre. These need to be your top 4 games of all time.
Top 4 games of all time. Cool. I think I can do that. But whether or not Legacy of Kain would be in them, I don't know. But that's next week's topic. All right, cool. We're going to wrap things up there today, folks. Thank you very much again for joining us. Elle, we hope you have a great top 4 games of all time. Sorry, top 4. We hope you have a great holiday next week. Come back with... Yes, you put it in the thing.
Yeah, just so it was there for next week. No, you did. You said it perfectly. Sorry, I threw you off there. Sorry, sir. Right. Sorry, sir. Sorry.
I'll deal with you later.
Oh, no!
But genuinely, have a great time, bud, and let us know how you get on. Thank you all again for listening. Remember, we are available on Spotify, Apple, and YouTube. Give us a like, subscribe, follow, whatever you will, and we will catch you all in an episode next week. Cheers, guys.
Isn't he better at this hosting stuff, right? Thanks all. See you soon.